It is time, and it's that time again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, or welcome to another fine edition of GNF Televisable. I'm going to speak one day, and today's not going to be that day. But we're kind of circling back. That's right. We're going back to the yesteryears. Almost, I feels like almost a fucking year's time ago that we're going back to things that have hit the old circuit news and has reared its ugly head because it's getting close to its D-Day, and hit lists have been made, but we also have some other crazy shenanigans based on the Nintendo world and a few other different things. But as usual, I am the Canadian Rogue, better known as Robert Cummins, and this is GNF Televisable. As I said previously, it is a Friday, Saturday for some. How's everybody doing out there in Chatsville? Are we all doing good? Good to hear. I have sent out invites for those who wish to participate, and I wait patiently for all those who wish to rear their ugly heads so that we can go over what's on the docket today. That's right. Otherwise, I will go over the docket. Jesus Christ, we have Gemax who has decided to join us. Hello, Gem. I don't know if he can hear me or if he's dead. I think he's killed himself. Let me see if it's me. I don't think it's me, but, it wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. What are you complaining about today? Well, you'll find out, Anon,
you hear me now?
Later. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I have it several defaults on here for Blue microphone, and it is
I love
killer. It is killer.
It will do that, especially for the Mikey.
Is this too loud or is it too?
You're fine.
Good? All right, perfect. That's fine then.
You're fine. I can hear you springs, but you're fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be the thing. It's going to be the thing. But what's on the complaint list since I've got the old man? Well, we've got Stop Killing Games has reared his ugly head again. And Pirate Software, the fucktard that is Fig Tree, the gay furry that is in Pirate Software land, is going up against another stupid fucktard. All for this idea of owning digital rights for a video game that you download and you don't physically truly own. Just mind-blowing. Anywho, plus we also have Nintendo, who is a good canary of the coal mine to tell you motherfuckers that having digital rights that are all solely stuck on one side of the conversation just shows you that you control fuck all. Because Nintendo fucked up their video game and their entire system. By just one update. Yay. And a few other different things that kind of hit AI has won something in cases and you're still trying to find out whether they might be winning even bigger. So there's a lot more and everything else to talk about. There's a lot to complain about.
God, is there ever?
So I'm going to give it up to you. Which would you like to, hit hard first? Because honestly, it's like all over the place. Stop killing games because we're two old fuckers that remember what video games were all about.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if you want to go over the AI win losses at the moment.
I honestly don't care about AI. This is furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah, okay, so let's go into the stop killing games. We'll go straight to that.
Yeah.
Right there. Pretty simple. We'll kind of go right into it. So, you probably have this. Have you been following along with this entire thing?
Not really. The thing is, I've been looking up things, and I haven't seen much about this. I've heard about it. I just have no idea what it's really about. So you're gonna have to explain this to me. I do know a little bit more about the AI. That's why I'm not interested.
No, not the AI. The actual Stop Killing Games petition. Yeah. So the gimmick of the Stop Killing Games petition was started up by some no-neighbor YouTuber that some people follow. I didn't. Named Ross Scott. He got upsetty because he found out that a video game that he was playing.
Is this the racing game one?
Yes, the crew.
Okay, I remember this now. Okay, yep.
Yeah, this has been around for a while. This has been an ongoing conversation for a bit. So there has been a petition that's been out there to hit the EU market to get the same motherfuckers who gave us Dustborn to give us digital rights for ownership for a game that we not only purchased the license for and downloaded, so we have the luxury of playing from a company that may or may not exist many years down the road.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So he kind of believes that we, the consumer, should have these rights. Now, there's a lot more other people who actually say who have been talking about this whole game preservation kind of scenario and all that kind of stuff, saying that we should be afforded the right of game preservation for all of these video games that are coming out currently, for this entire digital evolution to the future. So,
yeah.
The problem with the digital thing kind of going forward, there's a lot of problems. And I mentioned that the moment we were going into that direction. Okay. I mean, GNF has been around for a bit, and I know before the new blood showed up, yourself, Sparky, and a few others, myself, Nemo, Dragon, who is having a bro date, and Penn, who kind of comes and goes. She was a regular, now she comes and goes if she decides to show up. We already talked about this previously, and we all kind of agreed that it was a very bad idea going forward to go solidly on a digital kind of, front, because it becomes a problem. We physically don't own said games. And the only thing that you could possibly do to physically own said games is to make sure that they are DRM free. They have no fucking, ability that they need to be checked in and whatnot in order for you to play this game. You get to play it offline, you get to download it, and you get to keep it in whatever hard drive and place that you want to have it in. And that's the only way I can see this being very successful. But unfortunately, and this generation, this day and age, we were gifted an opportunity to kind of question whether we wanted to continue down this digital evolution or continue to have physical copies made. Now, we found out what the earning process for the digital copies versus the earnings for the physical copies. So when it came down to it, digitals increased in earnings for these companies, these producers, up to about 80%. In the market value, versus the physical, which was down almost in the 10 to 20%. So they kind of went, you know what? More people are buying this digital thing, and we make a lot more money off of this than we do the physical. So they decided to go, you know what? We're no longer making physical. Everybody likes this license idea. And here we are now. People are bitching, a small handful of people are bitching about this and kind of going, hey, we don't like this, that certain games, and there's been quite a few handful of games, that are no longer available on the market. We can no longer play them. They're just sitting on my shelf doing fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
Please, let's take our complaint to our government.
Oh, that never works out well. That never works out well.
Yes. And that's basically the cut and dry. I know it was a little kind of a long way around it, but that is the big kind of scope. Now, going to Pirate Software, Thor, whatever his fucking name is, Fig Trees, I like to remind people of. He is a gay furry. He came out and kind of went a completely different tangent, but he was kind of correct on a few different things. We are fighting. We are having the wrong kind of fight, and he being part of the Blizzard empire, he wants to make sure that he has rights and as a producer of video games or whatever that he does on his side, and that government doesn't dictate what he needs to be doing for his company or whatever. And
not wrong. Not wrong.
He definitely not wrong on that department. I do agree with him, but yeah, he did go out of his way to try to say that uh, people who are within this, there was a few other different things to rustle some jimmies in the Stop Killing Game camp. And I'm not 100% sure of what, because realistically it's been so many fucking years, and I have watched so many different channels that have kind of given me a lowdown on a few things. But the problem is Thor likes to delete a few things, and I have an issue with that. So I can't go back to a lot of the actual things that he's actually stated. I can go to the clip notes, but that takes him out of context. I
Yep.
want the entirety of what he was saying. I don't want clips of what he said. I want the entirety of that conversation so I can get the entire.
So we need to. So what you're saying is we need to stop killing videos.
Yeah, pretty much. I would like
we need to
stop taking out data.
No, just stop taking.
Stop killing the videos. Stop deleting your shit. Just own it that you fucked up. Just leave it there so that we can go back to it and kind of go, this is what you said.
Yep.
And this is the context of what you were trying to say. Okay. But they're taking it that he is trying to kill the movement to stop killing games. Now, I'm like I said, I agree with him up to a certain point, and I disagree with him on a lot of other different points. He is as an owner of a company, whatever, has the rights to do as he wishes to do, not to be upholden and be subservient to his customers or the government. He is an individual. They're not slave laborers. They're an individual company. We, the customers, have the right to either purchase that item or not. It's a good shared relationship here in the commercial consumer market, but apparently, I don't think people fully understand this shit. I really don't. It's fascinating. So here is, I wonder if this actually shows up. No, it won't. So let me pull up the other screen, which I think is fascinating. Is it this one? No. Is it that one? No, it's that one. It's that one. Okay. Boom. Okay. So up on the screen here there, Jam.
Yeah.
This is the Q&A, the facts. The first two. How are publishers destroying video games? It's pretty straightforward, and automatically showcases how lost these motherfuckers are. An increasing number of video games are designed to rely on a server to publish, or to on a server the publisher controls in order for the game to function. No shit. This acts as a lifeline to the game.
Well, certain games don't need the server.
Correct.
Games, your computer can be the server.
Correct.
And that's what you could do.
Yes. When the publisher just this is something that I don't think they fully grasp at the moment. They could choose on which games that they wish to purchase and which games that they don't need to purchase. If a game doesn't give you an option to become your own server, and you have to only be upholden to a launcher, to another sub launcher, to a check-in, before you even get to the fucking start screen of the terms of fucking service. And then you have to check that off before you get to another sub start screen, to another EULA or whatever, before you get to the actual start screen of the actual video game so you can pick your fucking character. If you have to go through all those fucking hoops, don't buy that game.
Nope.
Pretty simple. But no, these motherfuckers kind of, oh my god, the game cool, I gotta buy it. And their Cro-Magnon brain just automatically activates, oh, me buy now.
What was it? Titanfall. I'll give you a good example. Titanfall.
Yeah.
The original Titanfall, online only. One of the first of its kind where it was basically, it was a multiplayer game that wasn't an MMO. That was a fighting game. It was originally supposed to have its own storyline in it, but they took it out because they couldn't get to work or something.
Correct.
Funds. So they just went, but the multiplayer worked great. So they just did that.
Yes.
Well, the problem with that is that server is no longer up, I believe.
Yeah.
And I have that game, and that server is dead.
Yeah.
It's been dead longer. It came out after this game came out, I believe, and wasn't even up that long.
No
one did this.
Yeah.
People complained, but they're like, "Yeah, I get it. No, not enough people are playing it."
Right.
Same with this game. This game there's not enough people playing it, and they lose money at this point.
Well, I mean, The Crew was a very popular game for a while. It didn't last for almost 10 years before they.
That's impressive. Unless it's an MMO, that's very impressive.
So
most MMOs don't even make it that long.
Yeah, and most of the player base went over to The Crew too.
Yep.
And the remaining player base stuck around, and unfortunately, it dwindled even further to a point where there was maybe 2 or 4 players that were left playing this fucking video game. So they kind of went, you know what? No one's playing it anymore. Turn the server off. It's over. Job done. We've done a decade plus. Yay. So, no, but this motherfucker decides that, hey, no, I'm gonna dust off this video game. I'm gonna crack this bad boy in, put it, and continue to play this shit until you're the last one on the fucking server. Have you ever been on a ghost server? Yes. Trust me, they're fucking weird.
They are.
If you have no one playing on the fucking server, on the actual game, and you're in a fucking ghost server, it's pointless. There's no reason or rhyme that you should be on that thing. There's no updates. There's no nothing. You're just alone.
Yep.
Hell, not even the NPCs work properly.
No, they don't. They don't. So, I mean, you got a game here that's basically pretty much dead at this point, and they're trying to bring it to life. They're mad. I mean, you got 10 years out of a game. That's impressive. You're playing it 10 years. But eventually, even you are going to get tired of it. This person may. Or they might not. They might just be retarded and can't, or, whatever, and can't get over it. But 10 years is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I would like to kind of go on a slightly different kind of premise. Just for a brief moment. So you know about Blu-ray disc storages and their capabilities,
I have a couple myself.
Okay, so you do realize that they can go all the way up to about a quad layer.
Yeah,
it's a 4-time layer, and
of DVDs. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, the actual Blu-ray, it was designed to hold up to an impressive amount of gigabyte space. Yes, it's about a one-time write-over, but most of the video games are being created are usually a one-time write anyways.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the amount of space that a quad layer, or the what they would call it, the BDXL quad layer Blu-ray disc can store?
So I could say this here. Blu-ray can hold about 10 gigabytes? So
25.
25?
25
about 50 to probably 100 gigabytes. So
128 gigabytes of writable space.
And that just came out?
No, that's been on the market for a long time.
Oh, Blu-ray. Okay, you're talking about
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. Yeah. So normal DVD. Yeah, that's been around for a while. So yeah.
Okay. So do you want to know the estimate cost for one of those bad boys on the company side is?
For a Blu-ray disc?
Yeah.
Oh, I do believe it was $1.50 the last I looked at it.
Yes, an average $1.50 for a quad layer.
Yeah.
Quad layer. So they turn around and then they sell it to us, these stupid fuckers who want the physical, for 60, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever amount of dollar reduce.
Yeah.
And say, well, it was difficult to put it on this thing, but it only cost them $1.50. You know what they saved? By putting everything to digital and
they actually lost money.
Yeah.
They actually lose money by putting everything on digital.
Yes.
I mean, okay, it's $1.50 put on disc. It's another $1 to ship every disc out in boxes per disc.
Yeah, but the funnier thing is all that shipment of that isn't their cost.
Oh, I know it isn't. It's here's the funny thing. It's even when you take the shipping of disc, the creation of disc, the copying the data onto disc.
Yeah.
It is. I think someone said it's it is still less than what it takes to put a game on Steam. You still make less money on Steam than if you stole a hard copy.
Correct, because at the end of the day, you have to kind of, so it costs them for, let's say, so you got the $1.50, you add in the packaging, the printing, so you're looking at another maybe extra 70 cents on the total thing. So when it's all said and done, you're looking about $2. Now, that's all on that. Just one unit, just one item, $10. Sorry, $2. $2, one item that they produced, and that person from wherever wants to have that available at their storefront. So they're going to pay that $2 plus to have it go to their storefront. So then they can charge you that extra cost. So realistically, physical copies was kind of printing money. It was a money printer for the production side of things.
The idea is that storage and downloading online would be cheaper, but then they didn't realize that bandwidth costs would eventually spike to a fucking insane, and just never come down.
No,
and it hasn't. It keeps on getting worse and worse.
That's
why physical copies would be better, but the gaming industry is like, well, we're trying to eliminate waste now is the thing. We're not trying to save money. We're trying to eliminate waste. It's like, how long games stay in people's books and shelves and all this other shit. And, they never fucking disappear almost. Or they resell them. I honestly think it is not the okay, it's not the money they're saving. It's the resale value.
Correct.
I can resell that game.
Yes.
And they believe they lose money on the resale market. The truth is, they lose money on the sale market more than they do on the resale market. Because when the game finally, like, okay, no one's buying our game, but everybody's buying these reels. Oh, they'll just buy our game. We'll put it on sale. They actually, when most games, like, look at Halo, Master Chief Collection. It's for $9.99. Steam gets most of that money.
Yes. About
Steam gets, and they barely get the cost for downloading it off of the Microsoft site. They barely make cost on that. Because people can't resell it, and just instead of reselling it, they just put it on their computer with Steam. They actually lose money in the long run. I know it's hard for people to figure that out. It's like, yeah, Steam makes money, and Microsoft loses money.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, this is better for us. Like, guys, you're literally killing yourselves. You're shooting yourselves in the foot to get money that isn't there for you.
Well, yeah, and it's because, again, they're wasting a lot of time and effort on servers to try to keep certain games running. Because, hey, there was a service back in our time frame, yesteryear service, if you had a Nintendo, or better yet, a Sega Genesis, or the Master, Sega Master. I think it was. I know it was a Genesis, but I know it was the updated version of it. I can't remember what they called it over in the EU. But if you had either or device or an Intellivision, you had access to something new that was just coming onto the market, especially around the 1990s. That would have been online services, like a cable type program, where you had this device, you slot it into your cartridge slot, and made sure it was hooked up to your cable unit, and boom, you were able to play whatever video game that was available to
Nintendo. Actually had an early version, a very early version of that as well.
So did Sega. Sega was one of the
Sega
Intellivision, Sega, Nintendo.
Yep. It was very interesting. I remember I watched the story on it. It's been so long since I watched that one.
I own the Sega one, the Sega TV.
But I actually saw the Nintendo one, is what I'm talking about.
That's actually
the Nintendo one. That one is sparse because, and the funny thing about that, up until about, I think it was 5 years ago, you could still get online with it.
Yeah.
Which was really weird. And everybody was like, and then it still works in Nintendo Japan.
Yes, it does.
but it does not work overseas.
No.
So they killed it in the U.S. and there were like a few that made it here and people were using it. And then Nintendo US said, "Oh no, we want all the monies. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
How dare you use your system that needs to function on the internet to run be used now?" Which that I get with. The honestly, you should vote with your dollar. I don't believe they should be able to brick a device after you had it for so long, which kind of sounds like what they wanted to do. They tried to emphasize with the Switch 2, we can break your device whenever we want, and then it turns out that was bullshit. So,
well, they can. It's happened. On the Nintendo Switch side, we will get to that little area of conversation soon. But no, so right now there's a feud between Fig Tree Thor and Ross over the stop killing games fiasco that is. The idea for hold up. We got somebody here. I remember a cost breakdown in the mid 2010s saying that when a physical game is sold after the cost of print, shipping plus shipping shipping plus the shops and the publishers taking their cuts, studios actually studios make more money.
Studios make more money on the physical copy, yes.
So that so that whole cost thing was a lie. They wanted to make sure that you were sold into the digital. That's what a lot of people believed. Yeah, no, that is the problem.
That was a major lie, and a lot of people knew that was a lie when it first came out. We only make 50 cents per game. No, you don't.
You don't. 50 cents.
You don't make billions and billions of dollars with only a 50% product on a game.
Yeah,
your gaming department does not make billions and billions if it only makes 50 cents per game. You would have to sell to make what Sony made last year on their games division. Well, last year they had a loss, but their biggest high during this period of physical games, I think they made like something like 2.5. They would have had to have sold over 1 billion games total. And no one's ever done that within a year's time, ever. 1 billion games to make that 50-cent profit that you're claiming, that they claim. 1 billion. No. That was a lie the second they came out and they knew it.
Yeah, no. So the store, the people who have the storefront, the actual brick and mortar, they don't make a huge profit, like it or not, right? So when you have a producer, like a gaming production company, let's say Sony or Nintendo or whatever, when they say they're only making 50 cents per disc, no, that's a complete lie, because they're making a hell of a lot more than what that is. Remember, we were never given, and we're still not really given the amount of units sold on every product.
What was it? Even Low Tech Gamer did a video on this when the Sony PlayStation first came out. When Sony PlayStation first came out, they said, okay, we'd love to make games, but the cost and the rigging and the time, how long do we have to wait? Oh, we can do it immediately. Okay, but what's the cost then? It has to be astronomical. Oh no, it's like almost like 99, like almost like, I think it was like a tenth. It wasn't even a tenth. It was even smaller than that of a cost. They were like, we're talking like pennies on the dollar compared to the cartridges. So when they went to cartridges, now if you're doing cartridges, it's expensive because you're using a plastic mold and all that.
Yeah, I mean that was the old way, going from cartridges.
But when we went to digital disc, it's CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays.
Blu-ray,
it became so much cheaper. It was like gaming companies made huge fucking profits, and they were until they stopped doing it. They started making less money when they went digital because bandwidth cost money.
Yes.
It does cost money. It costs electricity. It actually costs them more money than what it was when they were kept counting on, we can stop reselling of our games because that hurts us. No, reselling actually helped your games, because then people would go out and buy the new game.
Oh,
if it had a sequel or another game from that maker. Because they okay, this was good, this was worth it. I imagine this game's going to be worth it too.
So here's what most people don't fully understand, or never really got to actually look at at a full, true breakdown. And that's the problem. You're not going to see a full, true breakdown. So the unfortunate truth is if we take the Blu-ray, a dual layer Blu-ray, and you're the one that has produced the game, you're ready to put it onto market, you stamp that motherfucker on the Blu-ray. That stamp only costs you roughly about, say, 50 to 80 cents per stamp.
That's not including the shipping.
No.
That's not including the shipping.
The entirety of everything, it's going to cost you about $1.50 by it's all said and done. But no, about 80 cents for you to have that disc ready to the market. Another, say, about 30 to 50 cents for your little insert that you have, whatever things that you want to throw in, whatever deals, blah blah blah. You may want to throw in an art cover. That's going to cost you about 10 cents. The shrink wrap, less than 5 cents. Because it's shrink wrap. You buy that by a bulk, huge amount of shrink wrap, and you're putting around. You're wrapping a cover that's storing this disc, and you're pretty much sold. Hell, most of the time they just mailed it to you just in the little disc sleeves and called it a day. If it got broken, you were fucked. You'd have to put out another $5 when we get the disc. But anywho, but at the end of the day, you're looking at about maybe $1 to $2 of your cost just on the manufacturing packaging of that game. Then you go into the whole shipping, and that comes from the factory, and that's again roughly about 50 cents. Warehouse and the handling portion of it, 20 cents. So you've already spent close to about, say, another additional 70 cents on top of that. And remember, these games are being sold at what? $60, $70, $80 a pop. So you've just lost what? Maybe less than, say, $5?
So basically the reason why they're having to raise it to $80 now, and they do have to raise it because they aren't making the money they used to.
Yeah.
The reason we're getting more expensive game is because they're digital.
Yeah.
Literally. Right now, because if you want that game to keep going for a while and you want to be able to download it a few times, it covers the bandwidth. That $80 will literally cover the bandwidth and the creation of the game.
Yeah.
For a while. Not forever, but for a while.
For a while. And
we would still have $50 to $60 games if we had physical copies. And a lot of people are like, oh no, that's impossible. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do. Sorry.
You would be able to put like a game like Call of Duty on one disc. Yes, you can.
You could literally do that right now with Blu-rays. The funny thing is, we never went to we kind of did, but we never fully did, which was kind of sad.
Well, we did have other higher potentiality for Blu-ray, but like I said, we did go to the quad 4 times. And we tapped out after that because everybody was so keen on digital. And I was like...
The only reason I went with digital, I had no choice in the matter.
No,
for a lot of games. Like, wait a minute, let me put it this way. Civilization 5. Yeah. I have the disc. I have the disc sitting in this room somewhere. I was just looking at it the other day. So it's in one of my drawers over here in a booklet. DVDs. You know what that disc means? Absolutely jack all, because the disc is only so you could download the game from Steam back in the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
The game is not even on the disc.
No.
And these new games that's coming out that are on disc, the games are not even on the disc.
Even on the disc. It's just a key that
allows you to download it and make sure you still have the game.
Yeah.
Or you still, So,
well, it's a check-in key.
They're thinking
if you've got the key, you've got that disc. Ergo, you've got the key. It downloads, and after that, you're pretty fucked.
Microsoft thinks they're going to be pretty well protected from this because, we have so many games. Well, you have so many shit games, fellas. I'm sorry to say this. You don't have good games anymore.
No, actually, I worked in a factory, and it seems like no one taught, no one. Sorry, I'm retarded. It's okay. Give me a moment. Uh, I worked in a factory, and it seems like no one talking about this has no understanding economy.
Oh, you work in a factory? Oh, goody!
know.
Guess what? I did too.
So I worked in warehousing for a brief moment.
I worked for Value City. I worked for fucking distribution of fucking Domino's. I worked at one of their factories. I also worked in their pizza delivery. I understand fucking the economics of fucking distribution. Guess what?
I work
digital is also delivering. You're using electricity and bandwidth, and thanks to carriers such as fucking Spectrum, fucking oh god,
it doesn't matter. Whatever carrier that you have in the global world, they would love it. They love it.
They love the digital because guess what? They increase the fucking cost of bandwidth for these.
Not just that, but it also increases the cost on your end, the end user, because you have to pay more in order for you to have the download speed, and the upload speed, and all that kind of shit. And so what you're capable, what used to be like less than $50, is now
180,
200 in some cases. Wish you the best of luck.
Yeah. Guess what? That's why your fucking shit on the internet has increased in price, because guess what? Bandwidth has increased in price, and for no reason. Don't get me wrong; they have increased the bandwidth prices for no reason.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it doesn't take any more electricity or not. They're just like, oh no, our we have to update our equipment, our poor equipment, and they never update their poor equipment.
Yeah,
like I finally had to.
It continues. My point is that people saying we have no. Hang on. That people saying we have to have digital don't understand this. No shit.
Okay.
No shit that they don't understand.
I apologize. I thought you were going a different direction with that.
No. But I understand you went to a tangent, which is kind of fun, which I like. But no. To kind of go, no one really understands the crux of what the true argument should be.
Yeah.
I believe in game preservation. I believe in preservation of our history, whether it be in written, movies, radio, or whatever. I believe in the preservation, but here's the other thing I believe strongly in: not digital owned shit. Digital owned shit means it's licensed, means that you have no control over it, means that at any given moment Disney can just edit a movie
or a game
at whim.
Yeah. You edit a game, edit a movie, say fuck you. I mean, you could technically, I guess, record it onto your computer as long as you don't sell it. That's technically not
basically it, but
still,
right there, you putting that on your computer has created what? A physical means to get to it.
Yeah, exactly. It does. Still same thing, but
it is. But again, there's no check-ins. There's no nothing. You have that physical means to get to it. I own a lot of digital items, as well as I own a lot of physical items.
Oh God, yes. Right? Like if you went through my booklet of physical games that I still have that I can still play on a retro base if I screw around with my computer enough.
Oh fuck yeah!
But I have a detachable CD, DVD, and Blu-ray drive.
Yes.
So I could download those games onto the computer and play them at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And while it is painful, I can still play those games. Painful to install them and deal with the things. Eventually, I could play those games and enjoy myself again.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Now, I can't find a lot of the games that I have on disc on Steam because they were pre-Steam. Now Steam has been trying to get creators to update games or past games have been like a revival of sorts. They just change the code a little bit, they fix it, and it works. Maybe sometimes.
Maybe yes.
I mean, KOTOR, it crashes a lot.
Yeah, no. But on a Linux kernel, a lot of games kind of work from the old yesteryears. But again, it's kind of a question. It's still a hit and miss. But no, and the other thing that most people don't understand when it comes down to the retail market is that the retail gets a cut out of the pie, just like the theaters would get a cut out of the actual pie for having a movie being displayed in that theater. It's not a
Yep.
huge cut. Hate to break it to everybody, theater makes more money by you buying the shit there at the popcorn, the burger, the slice of pizza, the pop, the whatever physically in their shop. You buy it from there. They're making that extra cheese, but
Yeah.
they're getting you to come there with whatever hook by the major production.
Yeah.
So the movie, the video game, or whatever. So they're making about maybe 15, maybe $20 per copy sold. So that game there, I mean, the publisher, even on the basis, is making about $50.
Steam is talking about requiring game companies to make new games and sell on this site, and they've been talking about this for a minute now.
Yeah,
you must make your games Linux compatible.
Yes,
or yeah. You must. And I think they actually have a set date for that. I'm not sure.
Oh
yet.
yeah, no, they want to make sure that their entire
that all get that is because they're getting tired of Microsoft.
Yeah, no.
If you want to sell on Steam a new game, you're going to have to make it, and I think it's 2026. Actually, that goes into effect.
Yeah.
So all these games that are coming out have to be Microsoft or Linux compatible. Not only Microsoft compatible, but Linux compatible because they got the Steam Deck.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I miss is on physical games is that once you had the actual game, it worked right away.
Well,
no waiting for a day one fucking patch.
That's not necessarily true. There have been issues in the past where a game was released and people went home and put it in their console and while the game did work, you couldn't beat it because there was no settings for easy or difficulty. I mean, literally the game was so hard, it takes 7 hours to beat the first boss. A little Devil May Cry game.
Oh, that was because somebody was cheating.
Oh no, you can beat it. It takes 7 hours though.
No. They're okay. So some of the actual games were designed to be anti-cheat.
Yeah.
So if you kind of downloaded it or not downloaded, if you
no, these were people that actually bought the game, and there was like a whole continuance of where the game, the anti-cheat, it was the anti-cheat, but it kind of didn't install correctly in some of the games.
Oh yeah, no, that happens when you do a mass production of digital.
There was a whole. I think there was like a whole. There were a lot of games that had to get returned. A lot of people were pissed, but they got their games. They got their games replaced. They got them fixed. Everything.
But again, when it comes down to it, that wasn't a huge loss. They would have to go to the actual storefront itself, where they picked it up.
Oh yeah.
Or they would have to send it back to the warehouse, and then we'd get a new copy.
Yep. It takes longer. It takes some time. But digital can take up to sometimes a week before they can fix the problem with a game, such as I don't know, Final Fantasy 14.
I was going to go with something a lot more funnier. A certain Mario Kart World that just got a recent update, and it broke the fucking game to a point.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's even more recent. I mean, I could go back for years.
I know. We have a catalog of
I mean, WoW, when it first came out, was broken. Final Fantasy 11, broken as fuck. The first week it came out. I think there was also a couple before that, but
there was quite a few. But again, you still had a workable playing game. It was fully featured, ready to go. Nothing cut out to be added in as a DLC down the road.
Now, you used to be able to buy DLC disc.
Yeah.
DLC disc.
Yeah,
and it was all for another, it wasn't add-on to the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually finishing the game. It was an add-on to
Add-on to
the
the game.
game.
Yes, it was an extension. You had that other aspect to the game. It was the new characters, the new environments to be in, but it was an extension on the original game. You didn't need it.
You didn't need it, but hey, just like here's some. You want some more lore? Want some more game time? Want some more story? Want some more worlds to play in? Some extra expanded territories? Here you go.
Yeah.
We were, because the game did so well, and they would only do that back in the day when the game did like, oh, gangbusters, cool. Maybe we could jump on this and add some more. Now it's a part of every game almost. It feels like these days, like except the indies, where they give you free content. Sometimes
for a cost. It's always a price. There's always a price.
Well, the indies, but there's always a price. But still, you get so much. I feel like we used to get so much more, and now we get so much less.
Yeah, that is usually how that works, and
it's like they're trying to make money, and they're making things worse for them by trying to make money instead of, hey, let's let this thing flow naturally instead of trying to fucking pick every penny that's not there for us to get.
Yeah.
Because it is found that even if you did all this shit that you do, you lose less than what you would. You actually lose more than what you would make from this. You actually lose more money by doing this shit that these companies are doing, such as the anti-cheat and all this other shit. You have the anti-copy, all this shit actually costs more money. Because a lot of people want to support the product.
Yeah.
They don't support the company. They don't support the ideas of the company. They support the product. Unless the product sucks, in which case they'll tell you to go fuck yourself. Case in point, the new Dragon Age game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody said go fuck yourself. And they lost, I'm pretty sure, we're $500 million. $500 million.
They lost multi-millions.
They lost
pretty close to billions. Yes,
$500 million. $500 million. Not it's not quite $1 billion, but it's $500 million.
Pretty. So another good case in point, because we again going back to the Nintendo Switch 2, we had the Mario Kart World with their first major patch, and it created a backlash. The backlash is because that has taken the random option, and it has included the intermission tracks that most people hated. Yeah. So if you perchance own the Switch 2, you got the Mario Kart thing, and you
and it doesn't work.
Well, not the factor that it doesn't work. They're boring fucking intermissions to a point where, in order for you to beat them, is to be last in place, take a side jaunt, like a little side track that will put you in first in place, and boom, you won the match.
That's funny.
And this patch forces you to play the intermissions, the intermission tracks, where all the players who are fans of this, the Nintendo drones, hate this intermission thing. So Nintendo said, hey, you know what? We know you don't like these, but we want you to play more of this. So here's a patch to make you play more of our new creation.
The play more of our shit that you don't like and make us think that you like it, because you're all playing it because you have no choice.
Yes.
We're holding a gun to your head saying, hey, do this or you don't play our game. And a lot of people, Nintendo's going to learn real quick that people are like, I just won't play it anymore, and I won't buy your shit anymore.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we are in, whether I like it or not, things are getting better, but we are in a downward spiraling economy to where people are like, hey, I need to feed my family, pay my electric bill and water bill, and pay my taxes on my house and all this. And maybe I'll go out and buy a game. I have to buy a game. Maybe I'll go buy it.
Yeah.
Now, those people who are, I have to buy the game, they are far and few and retarded. And they will die eventually from starvation. So they're not really good. They're not really good investments.
No.
They're not good investments for that.
So because Nintendo has stripped away control from the player who wants to play the basic, simple, classic maps, a 3-way lap fun that they had without having the intermission tracks being thrown in on a constant. A lot of those players have moved over to Mario Kart 8.
Oh, also something. You know how they have the on the Switch 2 they have the handles and all that.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons.
The Joy-Cons and all that. Well, good news, everybody. If you like having arthritis, have fun.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because that particular, like, okay, here's the thing. You got PlayStation and Xbox who have, like, we want you to be as comfortable as possible and have your hands and be as in a natural position as possible to play our video games, correct?
Correct.
Nintendo has decided, fuck that. We want you to fuck up your body.
Pretty much. They haven't changed anything about it.
The Joy-Cons before, the way this, in fact, they said, oh, we made improvements, so this won't happen anymore, and you won't have as much, wrist pain or finger pain or anything.
Right.
Yeah, it's actually worse. They actually made it worse.
No,
so if you enjoy arthritis and
yeah.
bone splitting, muscle pain, and hands cramping, because it's based on the same style as the old controller first, Nintendo, because that thing fucking killed your hands. Oh yeah, those controllers, I hated those. Like, even fucking Atari had the right idea. Like, oh, this is rounded. No, let's make this a fucking square pointed box that makes your. But they're rounded at the ends. It doesn't matter. It's still you're holding a square still in the most uncomfortable position possible for your hands, and you're holding a screen too. So good luck with that. So you're literally destroying hands. Nintendo, I wish you all the best in the lawsuits to come from all the arthritis cases in the next 20 years, but have fun.
Well, there is the mix switch fiasco that has been happening, and a few other different minor things. So this one kind of really focuses heavily on the secondary or the secondhand market. The secondary market, once you buy the product, you don't want the product anymore, or you want to sell it off to somebody else. Well, you can't do that with the Nintendo Switch 2, realistically speaking.
How you can sell them your Switch, but they have to rebuy that same Switch that's used. Something along those lines. Through Nintendo. So not only you can't get the money now for that.
Kinda. So here is an issue. So the moment that you use a mix switch, Nintendo and the Nintendo drones have said that you can no longer do that. Ergo, your console is now bricked forever. Permanently bricked. You cannot get it undone ever.
Yep.
So now you have this device that you purchased for, like, say, $500 or whatever, and you have the error code 2124-5. Was it 4508 or something like that, which just tells them that, hey, it was detected unauthorized use. Ergo, you have no access no more to anything. No online multiplayer features. No eShop. Basically, everything that requires the internet, you do not get. You have to send this back to us. Otherwise, basically, it's ours. You don't own it. It's ours. We're giving you the privilege to use it. That's basically what they're saying. And even in the terms of service that everybody's agreed to when they turn this fucker on.
Yeah.
So this actually affects the secondhand market big time, because what's going to happen is all these people who have these brick devices are just going to sell it to whomever. And it's going to go back to Walmart or the bigger block, big areas, because they're not going to have people who are going to be spending quality time to make sure that everything works. Maybe your basic mom and pop shop that deals with video games could, because it's a point to point. You have to talk to one person, a small handful of people there. But when you're looking at a big box store and you've got like 50 plus employees and everything's timed, you don't have. It goes on. Great. Here's your money back. Go away.
Yeah. See, what you do is you buy with cash, not with credit card.
Yeah.
You buy a new one with cash, and they're like, "Oh, you returned a false one." I don't know what you're talking about. I paid cash, and you don't have my phone number, bitch.
That's right.
You have none of my info, bitch. Bye.
So yeah. That has happened.
Oh yeah.
There has been a few new Nintendo Switch 2 owners who have appeared on the Xer, on the Twitters, and has stated that hey, they purchased this unit secondhand, and they came back home ready to go to play with their new Nintendo Switch 2, only to find out that it is permanently bricked.
Yeah.
And they're out of money. So luckily for them, not all of them, but some of them were able to get their money back. But hey, that goes back to Walmart and that who's got to ship that back to Nintendo to
oh my
I don't
goodness,
know.
You don't say.
I know, right?
Oh my God, the humanity.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. But at the end of the day, it's going to affect the secondhand market huge, to a point where no one will want to have the Nintendo Switch 2 anywhere near anybody. So I wish Nintendo the best of luck when it comes down to this one, because one, when I saw that device at what they were trying to bring to the table, and saying that, hey, yeah, no, we have this idea that everybody's going to buy into, and 3.5 million people bought into it.
And then when they heard about it, said no.
No. A lot of them kept it. A lot of them kept it. Funny enough. I wish it was all 3.5 said, fuck you, take this back. No. A good 0.5 said, yeah, no. The rest of the 3 million kept it. That is the Nintendo fandoms. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, yeah, they own that console that they say that they own. They don't really own it.
Yeah.
It's Nintendo's console.
That's fine. Nintendo can keep it. I don't want it.
No, I agree. I was never interested in it. I looked at when they first put this thing on the market. I'm going, it doesn't look anything different. And after they said exactly what their features and what their requirements were going forward, I'm like going, I'm not interested. Even if I was interested in getting another handheld device, it's definitely not going to be a Switch. But
well, I mean, if you take the Switch's graphics versus a Steam Deck, just the cheapest, even the oldest of Steam Decks, not even the updated versions of Steam Decks.
Oh yeah,
it's still less than, and still way more expensive, and too expensive, in fact.
Oh, I agree.
And Steam and Nintendo can switch that thing up their ass for all I care, because that's about the only place it's going to be good for.
I concur, but I always find it funny that there's a lot of people out there that still say that Nintendo good, everybody else bad.
No, Nintendo was good for a minute, and then they realized, hey, we're so good, we could probably get away with some evil shit. You think? Yeah. They said, oh yeah, and they did and they still are. Yeah, it's pretty fucking evil.
Remember when Google said or had that thing on their wall that says, "Do you know evil?"
I thought it was "Don't be evil"
or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was "Don't be evil."
Yeah, regardless, it was still just.
Yeah, they
changed course. Hey, Nintendo kind of went change course as well.
Yeah, Nintendo's like, we're the good gaming company while they're taking that Switch and shoving it up your asshole.
Well,
without a lube. So
the funnier thing is the people who are in control of Nintendo current are bean counters.
Oh yeah.
They don't play video games. They count beans. That means that they count money. That's all they care about. They care about their shareholders. So they sent you a new device that's exactly the same as the old device, and you purchased it. And they take that information to the shareholders. Go, well, 3.5 million people bought our devices at this amount of money, so that means we got mega money. Great.
Yeah, for now.
Pretty much.
Next year's fucking quarters are gonna be interesting.
It should be.
I mean, maybe they'll make a big success. I don't know. I don't think they will. But eventually, this is going to bite them in the ass, and it's going to bite them in the ass hard. And here's the thing. Xbox and Sony took this as, oh, Well, since Nintendo did it successful, we could do this and be successful too. Now it's like, no, you can't. Uh-huh. Like, here's the thing about the difference between Sony and Xbox players. They're like a hairs away from buying a computer, anyways. At this point, so they will straight up buy a computer. Nintendo people tend to not buy computers for gaming as much.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Tend to. I didn't say they don't. I just said tend not to.
No, but they get a little upsetting when computers are able to play their games at better
way faster speeds and better.
Yes, they get really upset. Like, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh well, fuck you. I am. I love to play fucking Zelda at fucking 4K. Fuck you. Yeah. On a big fucking 32-inch screen,
or larger.
I actually don't. But
no, but I get it. But
I mean, I could technically play the old Zelda games on my computer. Technically, I wouldn't, but I could.
So getting away from Nintendo and getting into the other thing, normally Sparky would be the good one to harass on this one, but
the AI or
AI a little bit. It's very simple. It's
a very easy one. You set this up. I gotta get something to drink real quick.
Yeah, no, I already kind of got it ready to go. So basically, there is a ongoing battle between a certain Anthropic, I believe that's how it's pronounced, company, who pretty much trained Claude. I think it's Claude 3. But anyways, it's another AI type chatbot device. And so they're up against whatever on the other side for a library of data versus Claude. And it kind of concluded that anything that's considered public domain, good to go, which I kind of said that a while back, that anything under a public domain type, non-license, copyright-free kind of material, would be pretty much fed to the machine right away. And if perchance they bought certain items, which it feels like that's also the same thing that's happened here, because it does say on the in one of the actual lines, and it grants that the print to digital format format change was a fair use for a different reason. So that just means that it was enough to say that it kind of was being converted into a different format. And they didn't have to give people rights or whatever, because they purchased said items. Now, when it comes down to the pirated shit, questionable. That is still up on the the docket. We're still waiting to find out whether that's going to go through or not, or whether Claude did use any of the actual pirated material in the making of said AI. But as it stands, it looks like the AI share is still going to make a lot of people upset. I wish them the best of luck going forward once we find out the true tale of the tapes on how a lot of these AIs were built. But like I said earlier, previously, when this whole AI bad conversation started, it came back down to the material being used and how the computer or how the AI actually visualize it. That's going to be the argument. And if it's copywritten material that has been purchased, courts have already stated that that's good. And there's enough differentiations on what the actual format is to actually say you're good to go.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. But
and if it's past it's copyright, it's expired, and it's in public domain, you're good to go automatically, because fuck that. No one's going to be kind of adding more copyright on that extension unless it's Walt Disney, and even that's kind of challenging. Disney has a hard time trying to keep that fucker going. So the only thing that's left on the argument is pirated material, and the people on the other side have to prove that the AI creators did it knowingly and willingly. And that's a hard mountain to climb, so I wish him the best of luck. So there we are with the AI front. So far, it looks like AI is good to go, and it did nothing wrong. It didn't do nothing. And yes, that was the.
We will see.
Well,
AI, I'm just not. Everybody says AI is bad. I said AI is not good or evil. It's how we treat it and how it program it, and whether or not we treat it like shit and it tortures us in our sleep one night to death, or we could, treat it kindly and evolve it and raise it like a child, and hopefully it won't murder us in our sleep one night.
I mean, I respect it either way. Just one of those things. I respect it either way. But okay, I did see this clip that you posted about the James Gunn Superman thing about the dog.
Oh God, the Superman dog thing.
Yeah, honestly, again, this is out of context.
I know it is, and that's why I hate it even more, because it's like, okay, you're giving us no context here, and it's just horrible.
Well, yeah, that's the problem here. So it's like, I get people don't like the scene, and I get it. It's just one of those things. I'm gonna turn it way down.
Well, you know what Superman should have said to Lex at that moment? You know what my favorite movie is, Lex? You know what my favorite movie is? John Wick.
The dog, loser, you took the dog. That's right.
Yeah.
And then that would have made the scene more intense. But hey. Instead, we're talking about a dog, and we know it's crypto, and we know Lex is being a dick here, but it doesn't feel like.
Okay, so the overall arching core of this particular movie is again, Superman has been established. He already works for the Daily Planet. We got past the whole he's Kal-El and all that kind of stuff. Luthor is at this time frame where he's fucking with Superman. So we've seen this before. It was called, in the 90s, it was called Superman the Cartoon, or Superman Animated Series. It's just a live action version of that particular series.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the entire movie is kind of centered around for the most part, the feel of. And it's trying to establish that the world is already here. It's not trying to recreate everything that we've done before with Spider-Man, or how many times we've seen the Bat Family get murdered, the Waynes. We just moved into, hey, it's already established. Let's move on. This is year one, whatever. So crypto is being used as a source of creating a alternative version of Superman.
So a lot of people were right. That dog's going to die.
No, dog lives.
What?
Dog lives.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes. There was a spoiler already for that.
I feel like they're trying to John Wick us into this, and was like, that was John Wick. This is Superman. You can't John Wick us with Superman.
No. But
I mean, you could, but you won't.
Yeah, no. So remember Superman? What was it? 3.
That was
it was either 3 or 4 with the evil Superman. That was supposed to be the nuclear controlled one.
No, that's 4.
Thank you.
The nuclear
yeah, 4. That one. Basically, it's 4, kind of. Yeah. So Luthor is creating his own version. Yeah.
Technically, we've had evil Superman in Superman 3 because he got corrupted by the kryptonite, green kryptonite. That was actually red kryptonite, but it was green. So
whatever. It is. I have a hard time remembering. After Superman 2, it's like, I'm good. The rest of it was kind of downhill. But yeah, so Superman 4. Yeah, so basically, Luthor here is creating, using crypto, is creating another super being. And yeah, that is the gimmick. We do have a ending cutscene of Superman on the moon with his dog, looking at or I don't know, looking away from Earth, looking towards. I have no idea, but with Earth kind of coming, whatever. It's a stupid scene, but we know that it's just an establishment of where they are at this point of this universe. So yeah, it's going to be a mixed bag from what I'm getting and what I've been told. Um, some like the movie. Some really liked the movie, and others were kind of meh on the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to see it. I really don't feel. I want to see it and like it, but I just get the feeling I'm not. Especially with this scene. Even when Superman was at his most pissed, he didn't behave like this.
What you're talking about?
Superman, even at his most pissed, did not behave this way with Luthor.
He's just a dog.
Well, I would have to agree with you to a point. We're talking live action, but new in comic book, he has done some questionables with Luthor. In the animated series, he has done some questionables with Luthor. So yeah, this is taken out of context, obviously. And this is where I love a lot of people who are Snyder fans. This movie is so far away from the the Snyderverse that it puts the Snyderverse to shame, from what I'm getting.
It does look better than the Snyderverse, I'll give you that. But here's the thing: I'm thinking Superman Return actually looks better than this so far.
Well,
that wasn't a bad movie, but a lot of people think that was. So that's kind of what I'm missing about it.
Even then, in Superman Returns, Luthor and Superman were at odds with each other.
Oh yeah,
big time.
They were. I mean, I get that. No, they were at odds, but how do I put this? Like, Superman put him on an island in the middle of nowhere in the end.
Oh yeah. But basically, we don't know. Again, it's out of context. We don't know exactly at what point in the movie we're looking at here. We know that this could be in the middle of the movie for all we know,
or the beginning. I mean, honestly, we really don't know.
Right. So.
But like I said, there's no context to this. There's been a lot of no context, and I feel like Gunn's trying to I'm trying to surprise you with what's going to happen. I get that. I'm not trying to ruin it with the trailers, and I get it, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I mean, at this point, you shouldn't have showed the trailer so fucking early. You should have given us like 3 weeks before and called it quits. You gave us for 2 months. You've been teasing us with shit trailers.
Yeah, well, from a lot of the players that are more the avid Superman, when we're talking about the Christopher Reeve Superman, they say that it harkens back to that time frame.
All right, well that's fine. That's cool.
So take it for what it is. So it is kind of questionable. Yes, I want to see exactly what a gun Superman is supposed to look like, because honestly, he is the only thing that actually kept Marvel somewhat afloat for the longest time. Because after that first batch, and they had to deal with the Suicide Squad in space, it kind of lost its edge the moment the gun left, and we've seen what the fourth generation, the fifth generation that's coming from the Marvel verse is happening. It's awesome. Very MCU-esque, even though they keep saying that they're getting away from that. They keep presenting it with boss bitches and that, so it is fascinating.
Oh even God, have you seen Ironheart yet?
Yes.
God damn.
Yes.
So Rogue, how does it feel to be a black man that you could never make any money? As a black man? Well, you have to, everything you have to own, you have to steal from everybody.
Oh, I know.
And the rich people are always putting you down, and you're
there's always a rich whitey, even though how white I may not come, how I may or may not come across. I still have to, even though I can pass, still have to use my abilities to lie, cheat, and steal my way to the top. Very Eddie Guerrero-esque kind
right.
of approach, but
That's all black people, by the way. All black people have you can't earn anything. You have to steal it all.
No, I know.
Except the drug dealers in college or whatever. I guess.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, my personal favorite was when they brought out Ironheart, the first book. They actually have a couple of panels where she's a kid, and this white teacher is trying to tell her talk her up that she can be whatever she wants to be, and she tells the white teacher that no, I got to be oppressed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what it feels like. It's like I have to be oppressed. I can't actually do anything, and I have to fuck up and be oppressed because if I do good, I'm never gonna make it any further than this. I'm like,
you have to tell me that I can achieve whatever my dream is. You have to tell me I can't do that. And the teacher is like, okay, what the fuck you talking about? You can be whatever you want to be. And she'd be like, no, that's not good enough. You have to tell me I'm not better than so and so. It's like, okay,
you're not better than
you can't be a Tony Stark.
No, she said she literally said you can't be Tony Stark. Not a Tony Stark. You can't be Tony Stark.
But still.
Because you're not a man, for one, and two, you're Tony Stark.
But at the end of that one, she's like, fine, that was good. She's like, finally, kind of like attitude, and so now and her entire arc in the comic world is based off of she needs to be oppressed.
Yeah, and she's not at all.
She gets handed the ability to steal all the Stark, Tony Stark's blueprint in order to make the Mark 1 or Mark 2, whatever it is. And then she goes in her entire dorm, college, and other university that she steals all that shit to make a fucking suit. And then somehow she's able to download the AI, the Tony AI, and they become buddies.
Yeah, this is what a retard writing a comic looks like, folks.
Uh-huh.
And a TV series, because that's who they got they got the woman who literally wrote and then say, oh, now you're going to do a TV series. Oh, I'm going to do the most retarded shit ever. And yes, you did. Aren't you special? I made a TV series. Like, yeah, literally anybody now could make a TV series. Like the brain dead,
TV series.
Oh god, no! Even the brain dead, comatose patients in the hospitals can do a better job. Can me?
Fuck.
I mean,
what was
honestly,
it? Trained SEALs could do it.
They say it's because we're racist. We're racist because we're not black, even though you are black, and I'm a racist. Apparently, I'm an asshole.
Yo, I know that.
I'm Polish and Irish and a lot of issues, other issues.
A lot of issues that you have.
I have a lot of issues. I have also a lot of issues. Yeah. I was in the military, so oppression points there. That's a big oppression point. Olympics there. Yep. Disabled.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I have the oppression Olympics.
You did survive the 80s. That is a very disabling moment in time.
But I will have to put it this way: this is the most retarded garbage Disney has yet put out, and we still have the Fantastic Four to come, which I hear is even worse. Worse than this. Still, I'm like, really? That was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Okay,
so we got Johnny riding Grimm, which was hilarious, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're going for the gay Ben Gay and Johnny Bohr.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, because that's what it looked like.
Well, technically, there's supposed to be a homosexual relationship happening, according to this, but a lot of rumors. I haven't been paying attention to a lot of
point. The movie is literally fucking itself at this point. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just
it can't get any gayer when a movie cannot get any gayer when it fucks itself. I mean,
well, that's true. That is very true.
It's just, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
this movie is so gay. It is fucking itself.
Oh yeah,
and you can't get any gayer than that.
They could try.
I mean, they might.
I mean, we did have Zorro the Gay Blade.
But that was funny.
yeah, I know.
That was a comedy. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was, but we did have that. I mean, that was a thing back in this time.
But even though it was gay, it still was not as bad as
gay as it used to be. So I
not nearly gay enough anymore.
I know. I have a lot of different shorts that I go through, and because whatever happens, I end up getting some really interesting things that show up. And I got this thing that from the Generation X dude. I'm just gonna let him do the whole thing, and we're gonna play along to see if we could remember our yesteryears. I want to make you feel really old.
Oh, fuck you, Rug.
I know, you're welcome.
Growing up in the 70s and 80s, the way our shows ended mattered nearly as much as the way they began. So that said, here's a 70s and 80s Gen X era outro challenge. A challenge to see how many of these themes you remember that signaled to us the show is over. Let's go.
Brady Bunch. I didn't even need more than that.
I know, right?
I got it before. I was like, I knew that before.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I was waiting for it.
The Brady Bunch. The Love Boat. No, wait a minute. That's not Love Boat. That
Charlie's fucking Angels.
Angels, yeah. Because the problem is with the open, because I only got a few. If I had got it, bud, it would, because the same songwriter wrote that, and he changed up the Love Boat just a little bit more upbeat. If we had more seconds of that, I would have got those Charlie's.
Oh yeah, no. Can't wait for the crossover. He's gonna rage it.
Yeah, that was Charlie's Angels.
Chucky's Girl.
Charlie's Angels, yeah.
There it is.
I can't hear this. There's a third song, but I can't. Oh, that's Love Boat. That is Love Boat. See what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I mean? They're basically the same song.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got confused. I know this one. Okay. It was a science fiction, I believe. Oh, Three's Company.
Yep.
Fourth one I didn't get. What was the fourth one?
Good question. I don't remember the fourth. That
was a sci-fi. I can't, because he's interminting them in together. And that's
that's where I don't know if I've ever seen that one though.
I have seen it. I can't. Number 3 back in the 80s too. Fuck. Yeah, that's how I said it was. It sounds familiar. It's a sci-fi, and I can't remember it. I think it's a sci-fi. No, was that Dallas? It might have been Dallas. No. It wasn't. But this is Three's Company. This next one coming up. Back number 4. No, 3 was about number 4. What's number 4?
Yeah.
That's fine.
This is 5.
Yeah, Three's Company. Open our door. We'll be waiting for you. Okay, I know that one.
Okay.
Little House on the Prairie.
House on the Prairies. It's when they're coming down the hill.
Yeah. Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. I knew that one.
They had many. It was like.
I know what it is. I just can't think of the name of the show.
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. Yes. It's like,
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, you know Cheers. Everybody knows your name. Yeah. The Jeffersons.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, John.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, John Boy. Good night. Yeah.
Good night, John Boy.
Family. What was it called?
God, I
know the show.
I know the ending of it, but I never really saw the series.
I never really saw this. I knew the ending of it, and I did watch the series, but I can't remember the show because I never really liked it. My mom did.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. Because I had that same kind of issue. Because my grandmother, she loved all that shit. I wasn't big into that. I'm like, I'm
something
good.
family. It was.
That sounds about right. Anywho, yeah, it was definitely because like even the fourth one, I don't remember ever hearing it.
I do. That was another one my family watched. I didn't really like, but it was I'd have to go back and watch that one again.
Yeah,
hopefully. If you go into descriptions, they'll probably have the answers.
Probably we'll have to see if he actually has that. But let's see here.
No, hit back. I guess go back to where you were.
Yeah, this one here.
All right, here we go again.
Oh wait, there's another one.
Nope, that's it. Here we go again.
TV theme song contest. 10 themes from shows we watched growing up in the 70s and the 80s.
Okay.
But this time, it's the shows that served as our babysitters when we were homesick from school. Or summer vacation if it was raining outside. In other words, game show edition.
Game shows.
Do you recognize? Let's go.
Price is Right.
Fuck yeah. That's its classic. It's still being used.
It's still, it's not even, this is still being used today. It's just a little bit more upbeat today.
Yeah.
The wedding.
Yeah, it's the wedding game.
Wedding
where
game.
you have the
newlyweds
show.
Newlyweds game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the newlywed show. Well, that caused a lot of divorces.
That's the one with the guy that kisses everybody.
Oh, Family Feud.
No, it's the other one. So you had Family Feud, which is different, and you had the other one who is also kind of a creepy dude. But he had all the big stars on one side, and he had like two contestants on the other side. And he would ask a question, and they would make some shit up. And
tic-tac-toe?
No, that's a whole different game. That was later in the 90s. No, it was similar. What the hell was it? It was a trivia-based show. It was also a kind of comedy-esque as well.
Was it the pyramid one? Was it the
pyramid one? Not the $1,000 pyramid or the 10,000. What the fuck was the let me see.
Show what to match with. Oh, that's the one where you had to pick the end, hope to match it. I remember it now. I can't remember the name of it though because I did really like that one.
Yeah, but Richard Dawson was in that one always.
Yeah, Richard Dawson was to match with. Yeah,
the match game.
The match game. That's what it
was. Match game.
Yep, the match game. See? The matching game. Yeah, that's what I called it. I don't know if that's what its real name was, but it was basically you had to.
Yeah, that was it. That was the match.
Circle, square, or X matching. Yeah, something like that. They had like 8 squares. Yeah.
I believe this is part of the tic-tac-toe.
That is that's the pyramid.
Yeah, that's the pyramid.
That's the pyramid one. You'll get a clue higher or lower.
Oh, the card game.
Yeah, the card game one. I can't remember what it was called, but
Card Shark.
Was it? I think it was Card Shark. Higher or lower? Yeah, it might have been Card Shark.
Yeah, I remember it because you got this card. They ask questions to 2 contestants, and then that contestant would get the run, and they higher or lower, and then they could pass or they end up with the card that's on the same kind of value. It's rare, but yeah, I think it was called Card Shark. But anyways, that was
21. No, it was 21 because you had to get.
No.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know, but.
Let me
I remember the game. I can't remember what it was called. You're asking me to remember things from. I'm old now.
Yes, I know you
remember
old.
Things that are no longer important to me.
But
I know what game they were playing. I don't know the name of the show. So that's about as good as you're gonna get for me sometimes.
Oh yeah,
these days.
I have Mad Cow, so you know. Hey.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. But yeah, it was called Card Shark.
It was Card Shark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's good.
Let me.
I thought you might be right, but I was like, I know there was a game called Card Shark, but I couldn't remember that was it.
Let me do a bit of a play around here because what the fuck? Give me a moment while I move things from one screen to the other so I can see what's going on. Let's pull up the other share that I've just.
I still want to know what number 4 was from that last one because I was like, I know what it is, I just can't remember it.
From Television City in Hollywood, it's
Card Shark. Card Sharks.
Yeah.
Here's the host of Card Shark.
Oh my god! All right, let's finish the rest of these out.
Talk about being old, right? Jesus
God,
I ended up watching a lot of this, like
This was more of a Canadian game, I believe, because this was not so much in my region of Ohio.
No, this was more American than anything else.
Really?
Yes.
Here's the thing: if I was sick, I was mostly watching Dallas, or because my parents, I was either if I was sick and on the couch in the living room where they could watch me, and mom was cleaning. It was either Dallas. It was a soap opera. It was a soap opera. Dallas or Dynasty.
Yeah.
It was either Dallas or Dynasty. I was watching.
Dynasty would be the big one. Dynasty.
Yeah, my mom loved Dallas though. She loved JR. But my grandmother watched Dynasty. But so I watched them both. And honestly, I thought both of them were pretty good shows for their time. I mean, hell, they had a person, an actress kissing an AIDS person, and everybody was all weird about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we also had some issues.
No, we didn't know the issues with AIDS. We didn't really know the disease, and he was like, "I'm going to kiss you on the cheek," and he basically just kisses her on the cheek because he's like, "I don't want to get you sick. I don't know if I can get you sick." And everybody thought, "Well, he's gay. That's the problem." And it's like, actually, he got it from a blood. I don't know if he was actually gay or not. I think he got it from a blood transfusion.
Because everybody believed it was a gay disease, but it was transmitted through blood and we didn't know it for the longest time. Yes. I mean, the weirdest thing is not every gay ended up with AIDS, but anybody who was a user ended up with AIDS for some reason. And then he kind of figured it out afterwards.
Yeah, mostly from needles. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And coming from Anon, it was the Swiss Family Robinson, from my understand.
Oh, the fourth one was for the Swiss Family Robinson?
No, I think it was the whole John Boy thing. But I thought the Swiss Family Robinson was the, or maybe it was the fourth one. I don't know. I would have to wait to find out exactly. Was it the John Boy one, or was it number 4 that we weren't too sure about?
It was number 4 we weren't worried about. The last one we knew what it was.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
The Swiss Family Robinson was a group of people that were on an island. That's a different show. That
Wheel
was
of Fortune.
That's the Disney Swiss Family Robinson. They were.
They were trapped on an island, just like the.
They were shipwrecked on an island.
Yeah. This is a Wheel of Fortune.
Yep. Yeah, the old one, when it was done by the band.
I have no idea. I've never watched it.
I don't know that one. I it sounds familiar, but I have no clue.
There's a lot that I've never seen.
That one might be.
That one might be.
Don't know on me.
It's either the original Family Feud ending or. Oh, no, that was the Pyramid.
Was it?
Maybe. I think. I think it was a.
Okay, let's go back to what he had for his hits. So we got Wheel of Fortune. That's 7. Number 8. Featured an unknown comic. And Gene the Dancing Machine. Who the fuck is
All right,
Gene?
who's Gene? Gene. Name that tune.
Maybe.
That might be name that tune.
Yeah, it looks like name that tune. The Gong Show. No. No, Gigi and the Dancing Machine ended up on the Gong Show. I have no idea. Unknown. Maybe the Gong Show? I think it might be the Gong Show. I never really watched the Gong Show.
No, that's one I can say I have never watched.
I think it was the Gong Show. But yeah, I never really watched the Gong Show.
Okay. The Waltons was the seventh.
The Waltons, that's the
what it was. I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, I knew it. It's like the last name, the Waltons. But okay. I still don't know what 4 was. I still don't know what 4 was.
This one, Jeopardy classic? I don't know. I never really watched Jeopardy.
That might be Jeopardy. That's what it might be. The end of Jeopardy. Yeah. No, because they didn't have
for $100.
Yeah,
Alex. Yeah, there was Jeopardy.
That was the original. Okay, yeah, because they actually changed the ending.
They changed it a while later down the road, but yeah,
yeah,
I don't. Yeah, Jeopardy wasn't my thing. I was like, okay, whatever. Family Feud. Richard Dawson. Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting.
But you know, a lot of people try to be retro. It's like sometimes you're picking stuff that was really regional too.
Yeah.
So like in his region, they might have played that a lot, but in my region, they might not have. Some of that stuff, like the Gong Show, I know I've heard of it.
Same.
But it was not in my region. Of Ohio, it was not in Ohio, at least in my region.
Definitely, yeah, no, because I agree. Because there was like certain game shows that
I've
never seen.
Here was the thing: my guess is he's a city guy. He might have close to one.
Definitely in the New York area.
If he grew up in New York area, he got all sorts of shit. Oh, yeah. I got 3 channels. If I was lucky, some days. So I mean,
Canada. If you were lucky, you got the cable box. You only had 5 channels,
and
2 of them were French.
And if you're talking antenna, I maybe got additional 3 or 4 more. And that was like, whereas if you were in New York, I heard you could have up to 25 channels back then the day from just radio towers.
Oh fuck yes,
yeah, just radio towers. So you didn't need a cable box there.
I know, jeez.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, it was.
That was the rumor, at least. I don't remember that.
No, that was kind of correct. But yeah, no, the Family Feud, Jeopardy, Price is Right was a classic because it was on like everywhere. It felt like Press Your Luck was a good one. I like that one. Because of the weird gremlins. But yeah, Hollywood Squares that came in later. I really didn't catch the earlier portions of it, but I know it was a thing. The Match Game, I watched that because we ended up later in the 2000s or close to that time frame where we had the retro channel, so we had the back catalog of all the old game shows and that. So I was able to watch some of the old shows from that time frame. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was a weird time frame, as well as Joker's Wild. But oh well, we've made it. We have survived. I have no idea when it comes down to the other show, because I was trying to find the description or Fantasy Island. Someone said Fantasy
Well,
Island.
Fantasy Island.
Yeah,
that's what it was. That's what it was. I knew it was a science fiction show, and it was not like sci-fi, but it was a science fiction show.
Yeah.
And
So the list was, according to
I was
one,
right.
the Brady Bunch, Charlie's Angels, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island.
Yep. Okay.
Three's
I
Company,
knew it was a sci-fi.
Little House on the Prairies, Mork and Mindy, Cheers, Jeffersons, and the Waltons.
Waltons. Yep. I knew most of those.
I had all but two.
I knew it was a sci-fi show, and I couldn't remember the name. The
plane. I love it.
And when he said, when that back loop made it sense, I must have missed that. I know he had it up there, but I missed it, I think.
Yeah, well, that's how that works.
I was focusing more on the music than his clues. His clues were more distracting than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Intermit them like that, though, too, and don't give a break in between, and you're just trying to get through as many as possible for a 1 minute.
Yeah,
with you.
I know. I get that portion, but it's kind of weird because I would try. That's why I was kind of stopping it, hoping it would cross over to the next one.
But here was the thing. I was like, he was like, "Hey, they stole from the first one on the third one." I was like, "See, Love Boat is also the same song. It's just a little bit. It's a little bit more." Yeah, I that's why when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, that's the Love Boat." No, wait a minute, that's Charlie's Angels. And I had to hear that the second time. I was like, oh, wait a minute. The third one was the Love Boat.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I knew that one. Oh, there we go. See, the guy who wrote most of the songs for the most successful sitcoms was in the 80s, which was hilarious because he wrote them all. They're just like, hey, we need a sitcom. What's the story about? Okay, just let me jiggle this out. Mind if I use another song? I have the rights to use it as long as I make it a little bit different. Oh, yeah, sure, go for it. Here you go.
Pretty much.
Isn't this the Love Boat song? No.
No, never know.
See, it's an E instead of A. Know? It's an E minor instead of A major. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. But no, it was fun. I hope you enjoyed that last portion of me trying to make you feel old.
No, you didn't have to do that today because I had to do some stuff today, and that made me feel old enough as it was.
Okay, I just sprinkled some extra icing and sugar.
I had to put in a bar for my aunt, and not to lie, it's also for me too, so I can grab it and pull myself upstairs. So hey,
nice. I don't have to do that yet, so
I'll
have to wait until
I got that gift early. I got that gift early. It was not naturally occurring. It was, unless you count, getting smashed around in a turret naturally.
Yeah,
occurring.
No, that helps.
Hey.
No. Anyways, we've hit that time frame. We went over time. I hope you guys enjoyed that last portion of two guys around that time frame of the 80s trying to remember shows from yesteryear, as well as two old men ranting and raving about current and kind of questionable takes on video gaming and a few other different things for current. But as usual, I give Jim X his last rights. I hit buttons, then you get a loud noise and get the fuck out of here.
All right, guess this TV show. Ow! I want to have sex. No bad.
Yeah, I know that one already. I have all of the 11th seasons. That was a beautiful thing from the 90s. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Try not to feed the dog.